Good morning. According to my clock up on the wall there, it's about just after 2 o'clock on Sunday 24th of September 2017. I'm in my workshop, and having just come back from the Kingston block, I decided I needed some sort of bar stool things to sit up on the platform while I was doing my bird watching, because an ordinary chair is too low and the balustrade is just at eye height. So I thought I'd make myself some treated pine weatherproof kind of bar stools. And so if you have a look at what I've drawn on the board here, this is a view from the top in plan, and the corners of the platform have these poles. So I've decided to make a sort of a triangular seat. So the idea, it will be a bar stool with the four legs so, and then wider at the back than at the front, and then with footrest things. Do you see what I mean? So this will be the top that you sit on, and then there'll be footrest things and one running across the back there like that as well. So in order to, I've just come back from the wood shop, and those will fit into the corners of the platform with the pole behind there, or behind here, as in here. And so what I've done is I've drawn up a template on a piece of paper, and I'm now marking up the wood so that I can inset these slats into that. So I'll show you what happens. I'm hoping it's going to work out. I'll show you what happens next. Okay, so it's slow progress on the bar stools for the platform, because it's now 3:45, and all I've managed is one of these sides here, just one of these sides here. So I'll show it to you, and it's not even screwed together. There it is. I've had to rebate this into there, and I've had to rebate the top into there, so that this will be one of the sides of the stool, you see, with this, the legs splayed out slightly like that. So to make it more stable, the legs are wider apart at the bottom. That complicates the whole process. So only another 7 to go or whatever, because I'm going to do a mirror of that and then connect those. So see you later. So there we are. So if you imagine that the electric drill is me sitting on the seat thing, the seat's not done yet, but just to show you how the idea is to have the sides flaring out and going narrow at the back. So that's not exactly how it's going to be, because the sort of basic idea was a right angle. So those sides have to describe a right angle, so I'll need to work on that. So that's the next stage finished. Still wobbly, but we're getting there. I'm going to put some diagonal pieces in to stabilize it, and I'm going to get onto it with, I'll do the top, and then get onto it with the belt sander and smooth all the corners over, and then it's got to be sealed with weather resistant paint before it can go down. That's the first one. The wood for the second one's still around here, so I'll see how I go. This is the prototype, I guess. Alright, on we go. Okay, it's 9 o'clock on the 25th of September. The next stage, these are all single screwed, all the joints. I've just put it together with single screws. The next step is to take them off, put glue on, and then double screw them down, because at the moment it's quite rickety. I'll secure this, and then I will put on the other two faces, and that should make it quite rigid, but it's good to have it on the surface so that I know it's sitting flat. So that's the next stage. Good morning. It's now Tuesday the 26th of September, and I'm still working on the bar stool for bird watching down at the platform, and I'm about to complete the top, and so I'm going to sand those smooth, and then I'm going to cut them out around the edges to make them smoother, and then when I've done the top, I'm going to sand the whole thing. All of these corners have to be rounded so that they don't scratch you when you're moving around. So I'm going to round off all of the corners on the thing. And you saw me wearing the mask. I've realized that this wood that I'm using, and I've used it a lot, is copper arsenate impregnated to protect it from rotting. And of course copper and arsenic in the lungs is not good news. And I've been rather cavalier in the past, sawing and sanding this stuff. And so I've decided to be a bit more sensible, although it's a bit late in life to start now. I'll show you when I've smoothed everything off. Well, there it is, all smoothed off and ready for sealing up with undercoat and then UV resistant paint. I've made the front end, this edge here, quite close to the frame so that you can put your feet up. I'll show you. I'll show you how it sits. It sits quite nicely actually. So I'm fairly pleased with it. Rough and ready, no joints, just screws. But I'm pretty happy with it. I've had to sand back the permapine planks for the top and screw them down. But hey, it's only for a bird watching seat down at the block on the platform. So I'll show you when it's painted now. Well, here we are. The first bird watching stool is completed. I've just covered it with decking oil to seal it from the weather, and it's gone a bit red. I'll show it to you. There it is there. It's a little bit on the ruddy side, but that's fine. I don't care about the color. So as you can see, as I said before, I was going to round off all the edges so they're nice and smooth. So it's pretty comfortable. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cover a piece of foam as a cushion to tie onto the top, and that'll be ready for sitting on the platform bird watching. So now I'm going to make another one.